I hear my wingman calling, "Knock it off." My wingman was off to the side of me as we pull in, and I can't believe he's calling, "Knock it off." I have a bunch of fun Air Force stories, but one of them is when I was flying the F-15. And in the F-15, what we would oftentimes try to do is your whole job is to attack and shoot down other airplanes, a dogfight, right? It's a dog, by the way, best dogfighter ever built. The combat record's 110-0. It's never been defeated in combat. So when we would train, and this happened out off the coast of Tyndall Air Force Base. So we were going to try to get it undetected and come in and take out the red air. And we started out up high where they could see us really easily. And then as we got closer in, we dropped in and did a 90-degree dive down. And we were up probably in the 40s, 40,000 something, because I think we were trying to get above the contrails. And so we dropped down, and the reason why you go 90 degrees down is the radars have trouble picking out anything that doesn't have forward movement towards a radar, because it looks like ground clutter. So if you can prevent any forward movement to your adversary, they can't pick you out from the ground clutter. And so the goal is, they see you up there high, and then next thing they know, you disappear and you're dropping down. And then you would do like a 9G pullout down at low altitude. And then, I forget what the floor was. I want to say if you weren't maneuvering, you could go down to as low as 1,000 feet, but I can't remember. But at some point, we go down and we pull out, and now we're just racing in. We're hoping we got in undetected, and we're trying to kind of flank around the enemy. And so as we do that 9G pullout and we're pulling in, we roll and see, and it looks like we're in undetected. And now we're thinking it all worked. We're just happy, our fangs are through the floorboard. We're ready to attack. And we go to pull, and in that pull, it's loud. I'm pulling to the beeper on the F-15. It has a beeper that tells you how close you are to the maximum G. So it's about 9 Gs right at it. And beep, 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 beep's going off loud. There's a lot of wind noise, and I hear my wingman calling, "Knock it off." My wingman was off to the side of me as we pull in. And I can't believe he's calling, "Knock it off," because we're in. What do you mean, knock it off? We're in. We made it. We're pulling. And he calls, "Knock it off" again. And so finally I echo the call, "Knock it off." And he said he could just see my eyes. He's a couple thousand feet away, just beaming through and through our mass. And I'm like, thinking to myself, why in the world would you call "knock it off" there? And he says, "You're missing 3 feet of your right wing." And I look out over, and there was about 3 feet of the right wingtip in the F-15 that had snapped off, and it was gone. And okay, well, yeah, good call to knock it off. So at that point, we climb back up and slow down. And to the F-15's credit, you couldn't even tell it was missing. I mean, it didn't fly any differently. I slowed it down and did a controllability check up at high altitude, dropped the gear in the flaps and see, what kind of speed can I fly final at, right? And nothing, right? So prudence says, fly a little bit faster, because we have a big long runway there. And so I flew final a little bit faster, but honestly, it was the most benign thing you could imagine, and a real testament to that airplane. And we came back in and landed safely. And the best they can figure is they think that it was moisture down at is a humid area down on the beach there, and then we climbed up, and maybe they got some icing in there, and then just that whole profile, which we had done a lot, so there had to be something inside that wing that was maybe leaking or letting moisture in or something. But that was kind of an eventful, exciting time, and you would think, wow, you lost 3 feet of your right wing. Yeah, and it was nothing. It was absolutely, I didn't even know, I would have never known it if my wingman hadn't called "knock it off."